Waste pollution is a serious problem facing humanity. How can technologies help us move towards the greener economy and efficient waste management? Mark, as a global trader of recovered paper products, VIPA Group today is a leader in recycling and waste management. You're present in over 100 countries, basically operating from every continent. How big is the waste management market today?
So we have to think in sectors. If we talk about the paper sector, we are about 300 million tons at the moment. Most of it is local. It will be generated locally, recycled locally, and then reused locally. So the export and the trade part of it is very minimum, but still it's very important. I give you an example. You buy TV in Korea because this is where the production is. So it needs to be packaged in Korea. Then it will come to Europe or to the US, whatever, and the packaging is local. Then
in a box.
The box is local. Then you need to send it back in Asia because this is where most of the products that we are using are packaged. Then we need to ship it. And at the same time, you can think about an imbalance in the maritime transport because vessels are pretty full from Asia to Europe and from Asia to the United States, and they are not so full on the way back. This is where we use this commodity to fill the boats. These boats cannot move without the tons, so they need that to be filled.
Which countries are recycling, who are taking all these, used paper products or metal products?
So EU is really at the top of the recycling process at the moment. So all the EU countries, but we take the very good example of the Netherlands, for example, or Switzerland, because we are in Switzerland at the moment. Those are countries which have a recycling rate in between 50 to 70%, so we can think this is very good. If we go to certain commodities like paper, this goes up to 80%. So we can really see this is very good, and this is an example for other countries. If we take the very bad examples, we have very bad examples in Africa, in Asia, but also let's say that United States and Russia have a lot to improve at the moment.
Google last week came up with this everyday robot that is working and using artificial intelligence to help separate the waste. And I'm sure your company was founded in 1965 and went through different chapters of development and evolvement. Which technologies do you use today to help you separate and recycle and in the whole process of waste management?
So we started, of course, with manual separation because this was the first thing to be available. But we still use it to some extent because you cannot replace the human eye to have a perfect sorting. Still, we use all the latest technologies. So what are the big technologies at the moment for the paper? Because again, this is a very good example. You have optical sorting. These are cameras that are looking on each and every piece of waste coming on the belt, and these cameras will identify outflows, pollution, or some grades that should not be on the belt at this moment.
Certain alien products on the belt, yeah?
Exactly. And this is coupled with compressed air that will eject these impurities.
Get them out.
Keep them out. Then we have mechanical sorting because newspapers don't have the same weight as a cardboard, for example, so you can identify which is what. And in the end, as I said, the manual sorting. I come back to this Google robot because this is very interesting. What technology do we want? This depends on the waste that you receive in your recycling place. In Switzerland, I like this example because it's really at the top. We have at home some separated bins.
Sure.
For the different waste. So paper and cardboard will go in one stream, plastic on another stream, glass, PET. And I think this is the best way of sorting because first, at home, you do a little bit of effort. You need space for the different bins, so it's not totally free for you. But the small effort that you will put at home will have benefits all over the recycling chain. To give you a good example, if you take a pizza box is cardboard with fantastic fiber. Just try to tear a pizza box and you will see how strong this is box. So when you recycle, you will think this is fantastic fiber for the industry. Yes, until it receives a pizza on it. Because then you have grease, and this grease
pollution, yeah,
is a pollution. You will have bacteria developing on this packaging, and whatever you do then in the recycling line, you will still have this pollution that you cannot remove. This is why I come back to the Swiss example. It is very good because you will have everything sorted. And I go back to your Google artificial intelligence. If you have a bad mix at the beginning, whatever you do,
it's not going to help.
It's not going to help, and one waste will pollute the other. Let's imagine about broken glass in your paper. Whatever you do, it will have an impact on the technologies for the recycling.
Yeah,
for sure.
paper will be dirty in the trash. Well, I want to say that Swiss people are very cautious about waste separation at home on the residential level because we're already buy this trash bag not at 10 or 20 cents a bag, but at 2 francs a bag. So it's this bag becomes very precious and we're very motivated to separate into the metal, glass, paper and only the general waste put in this bag.
Yes.
Sure.
You have to have a fortune in Switzerland not to take care. Exactly.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But at the same time, you say waste is precious. This is really one of the slogans of my company. But why waste is precious? You said it has an economical effect for the people, but also for the municipalities. Because if you ship some waste paper or aluminum cans to the landfill, you lose money. Aluminum cans is worth a fortune. So the municipalities that did not put in place a good sorting system are losing money. This is for sure. This is a fact. But it's not only that. It's also the ecological benefit that is, of course, much more important. We talk about resources, and the earth, whatever we do, will run out of resources one day if we don't take care. Whatever we tap in mines, whatever we tap as resources, we'll miss. We are talking about our children, of course, this is very important for everybody. But what about humanity in 200 years, 500 years? At one day, this will stop.
Let's look even closer at 2050. Let's say it's 30 years from now. How can you envision closing the loop in waste management?
So, of course, when we speak about environment at the moment, the big thing is climate change. Why is it so important? Because people can feel it. You can go in the mountain and see there is no snow like it was just 20 years ago, and really a big difference is happening. So even if I am president of the United States and I don't care about that, I still see that there are some differences coming up, and people want to see a change now. You can see the kids in the street, they are very sensible about these new questions. So it's really the right time to implement also a waste management system in all the countries.
Yeah, and teach new generation.
Teach new generation.
I think the bottom line here is that separating at home, it's a great model. It's a Swiss model that works extremely well. It's a wonderful example. But I think that what is important is being every human being being cautious about this waste and thinking about the environment and future generations to come and keeping the planet basically green or greener than it is right now. Thank you, Mark, for all your insights about the greener economy. Thank you for watching this interview with Mark Ehlrich from VIPA Group. I'm your host, Elena Gazov, and stay tuned to our next episode of Insight tomorrow.